Hi, everyone. Welcome to the session, Delivering a Best-in-Class Partner Experience, Your Unfair Competitive Advantage, sponsored by Tipalti. My name is Anand Misra, and I'm the Director of Product and Partner Marketing at Tipalti. Here is the agenda. After a quick round of introductions, I will provide an overview about the online marketplace and crowdsourcing industry, followed by why a best-in-class partner experience matters. I will share some best practices around providing a best-in-class partner experience. I will then talk about Tipalti, and we will wrap it up with a demo of the Tipalti solution. So let's get started. So here are your presenters. I am Anand Misra, Director of Product and Partner Marketing at Tipalti, where I'm responsible for driving messaging, positioning, and product launches. Nick Fischler is a solution consultant at Tipalti. Nick has been with Tipalti for over 2 years, and he will show you a demo of the Tipalti solution. So here's a quick look at the industry. Businesses and consumers are growing ever reliant on online marketplaces and crowdsourcing companies to get products and services delivered on demand. If you look at the chart on your screen, some of the companies that are growing fastest right now are online marketplaces and crowdsourcing companies. Blue Apron, Chewy, HelloFresh, Ocado, Amazon, Teladoc are doing extremely well. Instacart is killing it and just earned a profit. Digital crowdsourcing companies like Twitch and Roblox are doing extremely well. However, it is becoming increasingly clear that the COVID-19 pandemic will result in one of the most disruptive economic episodes of our generation. No industry will be spared from the brunt of this pandemic. It will have a profound impact on virtually all aspects of your business. So as you look to assess and strategize the business process functions, you must respond rapidly to maintain continuity and de-risk your operations to serve the business now and in the future. As you start assessing and analyzing the situation, one of the key challenges remains for online marketplaces and crowdsourcing companies is with regards to partner experience, making payments, complying with regulations, and generally keeping partners happy. So the question is, why does a best-in-class partner experience matter? It matters for a few reasons. Firstly, partners are customer-facing and affect your brand, whether positively or negatively, and online marketplaces and crowdsourcing companies live and die by their brands. Second, the industry is becoming more competitive and needs to attract and retain best partners. And third, partner churn is costly. So online marketplaces and crowdsourcing companies have to create a great partner experience to inspire loyalty. The various touch points that you have with your partners are critical. As an example, in our research, we discovered that 74% of partners say they have or would have left because of payment issues. In essence, a best-in-class partner experience leads to highly satisfied partners, which is critical to sustaining loyalty and attracting partners. And I would venture to say that it's a relatively easy equation to achieve, namely a great partner experience with the right system in place. So how do you provide a best-in-class partner experience? What are the key areas that you need to focus on? Let's cover some of the best practices in this section. The key to providing a best-in-class partner experience rests on 4 areas. First, partner management. Partners, whether they're freelancers, creators, drivers, streamers, and developers, can be unpredictable and have minimal loyalty. This requires businesses to quickly onboard new eager partners while managing the churn of those partners that don't get the results and gratification they need to continue. To start, in order to build trust, you have to ensure that you're onboarding the partners on a portal that puts your brand front and center and not some payables or payment solution that they may have never seen or heard of. That way they feel comfortable dealing with someone they know and trust, which is you. You have to ensure that you're collecting all their contact information to ensure a clean file. The next thing is to make sure that you can verify all their payment information and banking details, which will reduce the payment errors down the line. We will cover the implications of not collecting and validating the payment information in a little bit more detail later. Of course, promoting self-service is critical. For global partners, it means they can provide their information whenever they want. More importantly, self-service portal acts as a two-way communication method. Where's my payment is the most common inquiry businesses get, and with the portal connected to the payment data, none of your staff ever needs to answer the phone or respond to emails or Twitter DMs. Instead, partners can log in and view the payment status whenever they want. Portals can also be localized to the language so that they can overcome the barriers related to different languages. That's not so easy to do over the email. If you're looking to reduce calls to your payables department, then you need to ensure that proactive payment status communications keep partners informed when payments are processed and when they fail. The second key to providing a best-in-class partner experience is tax compliance. Successful companies need mature financial processes that can handle increased compliance complexities. It is imperative for businesses of all sizes to successfully comply with all U.S. tax information reporting and withholding requirements. We are talking about W-9 forms, but we are also talking about the lesser-known W-8 series and VAT IDs. Many companies struggle with W-8 form collection. Keeping compliant with IRS regulations makes this problem even more difficult as the documentation required from suppliers becomes more expensive. In fact, the IRS is getting very serious about trying to collect taxes. While it may seem a million miles away from online marketplaces and crowdsourcing companies, it's not. Because if you don't collect adequate forms from your partners, the IRS has to make an assumption that they are not exempt. In theory, that means that they can assess a penalty. And the penalty isn't on the payee, it's on the payer, and it can be quite high. And of course, if the IRS is auditing your partners, they may start to find other areas of the business that they need to look into. Also, it's important that you calculate any necessary year-old withholdings and generate the 1099 and 1042S tax prep reports. So by all means, get and verify partner tax details during onboarding. Don't wait until the year end when the partner may have moved or may have stopped working with you. Make it a part of the process. The third key to ensuring a best-in-class partner experience is to ensure that you can reduce payment errors. We talked about the importance of payments and how 74% of partners say they have or would have left because of payment issues. Payouts are one of the most critical touch points in partner experience. Gaining and maintaining loyalty from our freelancers, creators, drivers, streamers, and developers is critical to your success since there is extensive competition for partners. These service providers expect compelling revenue for their efforts, but also need to trust they will be paid. Some companies may resort to creating multiple payment pathways for various partners. For example, they may have a dedicated process to remit PayPal payments. Then to service their other partners, they create additional pathways for wire transfers, ACH, and paper checks. This process is a vast operation and can significantly limit the visibility of funds for senior management. If you have 20 partners to pay, separate payment paths might be manageable. But what do you do when you have 200 or 2,000 or even 20,000 partners dispersed globally? Do you hire more staff or limit the markets you enter? So you need cross-border payments intelligence that truly understands how to get funds from you to all the various partners all over the globe. At Penalties, we've identified over 26,000 payment remittance rules that span all countries and payment methods. In the realm of payments, automation has a big benefit. So look for a solution that has cross-border payment intelligence that truly understands how to get funds from you to all the various partners all over the world. The fourth key to ensuring a best-in-class partner experience is to ensure that you are compliant and prevent fraud and penalties, which is totally unnecessary and avoidable with the right system in place. Make sure that your system has enterprise-grade security and two-factor authentication for payers and partners, and that it can segregate roles by user permissions to drive who can access what information. Also make sure that you comply with all the sanction screenings such as OFAC and AML regulations to make sure that you're not paying someone who's on a government watch list somewhere. Make sure that the highly complex, highly manual process of collecting tax information is automated through digital capture directly during the onboarding flow, ensuring information is validated before a payment is even processed. This will help keep IRS tax compliance. The other areas that will ensure that you're compliant if processing EU personal data is with GDPR compliance and having proper system controls in place. A traditional and manual payables operation is often error-filled. The entire endeavor operates at a loss to the bottom line and ultimately impacts profitability, leading to partner dissatisfaction and ultimately partner churn. An automated payables operation goes beyond sending wire transfers and making PayPal payments. It centralizes payment accounts, streamlines partner onboarding, improves partner self-service, increases payment options, reduces tax and compliance burdens, and reconciles transactions in real time. For high-performing businesses, automation will drive the business forward and help improve partner satisfaction, leading to more loyal partners who will stay with you, leading to better customer experience. I will provide a quick overview about Tipalti in this section. This is the Tipalti wheel, which highlights a philosophy that if you put a robust system in place now, you will not outgrow it as you scale. We provide an end-to-end solution to manage the entire payables operations. It starts with partner management with self-service onboarding, which includes over 26,000 built-in rules and validation to ensure payment data is accurate. You can white label the portal so that your brand is up and center in front of your payees. We have a KPMG certified tax compliance engine that identifies and collects the correct tax forms, such as W-9 and W-8s, and generates 1099 and 1042-S tax prep reports, and also calculates any necessary year-end withholdings. We are a licensed money transmitter and pay across 196 countries in 120 currencies with 6 different payment methods. We also do sanction screening to ensure that you don't pay anyone who is on a terrorist watch list or who is listed as a money launderer. We have robust reporting with 20 out-of-the-box reports and real-time multi-entity payment reconciliation with your ERP systems, which ensures faster financial close. We also have pre-built integrations with performance marketing systems such as Everflow, Cake, HitPath, Linktrust, Paladin, HasOffers, etc. NetNow is our built-in early payment solution. You can generate revenue by paying your partners earlier without adding to your workload or impacting your working capital. The one last capability that I want to highlight is our multi-FX or intercompany bank transfer capability. You can save time and money on foreign exchange or FX conversions. It is ideal for companies with multiple entities who are paying in different currencies globally. Essentially, Tipalti converts the currency that it's funded in into subsidiary currencies and processes the payouts. It's all built on the Tipalti platform, which ensures proper financial controls and compliance are in place. We transact over $11 billion annually through our system and pay over 4 million payees around the world. We have a 98% customer satisfaction rate, which shows our commitment to ensuring a best-in-class service to our customers. And here is a sample list of online marketplace and crowdsourcing companies who have trusted us to automate their end-to-end payables operations. With that, let's move on to a demo of the Tipalti solution.
Hi everyone, my name is Nick Fischler and I'm a solutions consultant here at Tipalti. And today I'm going to be walking you through a quick end-to-end demonstration of the Tipalti platform. Now, just to start things off before we get into the demo, I want to set the stage and tell you a little bit about Tipalti and what it is that we do. Now, at a high level, Tipalti, we consider ourselves a holistic end-to-end payables automation platform. And what I mean by that is that we aren't simply just a point solution, right? We don't just take care of making payments for you, but rather we really try to look at the payables process as a more holistic problem and puzzle to solve. So at Tipalti, we really can help streamline and automate everything from the onboarding of your payees, your partners, your affiliates, developers, creators, publishers, etc. So that's making sure that we have that we're collecting and vetting the accurate payment details, making sure that we have the right tax forms for a payee, to making payments out to your payees in kind of a mass fashion across the world, no matter where your payees might be located. And finally, helping with reporting and reconciliation back into your platform or ERP. So this slide is also going to mirror the flow of the demo today. So we're going to start up at the top with these first two pieces here and go over how Tipalti can help with payee management and tax compliance through our onboarding portal. Then we'll show how easy it is to process payments through the system. And lastly, we're going to end with a little reconciliation and reporting. So that being said, let's jump into things. Like I mentioned before, we're going to start with onboarding, and Tipalti provides a self-service, white-labeled onboarding portal where the payee, the partner, affiliate, etc., they're going to be onboarding themselves so that you and your team doesn't have to hunt this information down, right? Things like tax forms and payment details. This portal can also be white-labeled in the sense that this can really be configured to look and feel like your brand. Now there's two flavors of this onboarding portal, and the first flavor is our embedded iframe that you can see up on your screen here. And this is a great option for customers who have an existing platform or dashboard for their payees, right? And we can embed our iframe directly into your platform. And you can see here, when we met companies like Tapjoy and GoDaddy, they already had an existing dashboard where their payees could go. They could see their activity. They could see how much they were owed. And you can see that Tipalti is really existing here as a little sub-tab in their overall experience. So it's a great option if you want to create a seamless experience for your payees, because it really means that they never have to leave your platform. They never have to go and create another login outside of your platform. It's important in creating a best-in-class experience for them. So all they have to do is just log into your dashboard as they normally would, and then they would be able to provide their details through our iframe. You'll also notice that this can very much be white labeled, right? GoDaddy looks very different than Tapjoy, and we really can configure and design each skin to your specific specifications. You can also see that we have this easy three-step onboarding process in the iframe of address, payment method, and tax forms, and we're going to get back to that in a little bit here. Now, the second flavor of our onboarding portal is going to be the Tipalti hosted portal. And this is a great out-of-the-box option. It's going to not require any development work from you or your team. And it's a portal that Tipalti is actually going to spin up on your behalf and host on your behalf. And it can even still be white labeled. So for the purposes of today's demo, I'm going to be walking you through the Tipalti hosted onboarding portal. And I'm going to walk through as if I was onboarding a new payee so you can see what that workflow looks like. So the first step here is I'm going to add payee, and we're going to invite this payee to onboard. Really all I need is an internal ID and an email address here. And then we can hit invite to supplier portal here and they add, and that's going to kick off an email that looks something along these lines. You can see that it can still be white labeled. And it's just inviting them to onboard and provide their details. And when they're ready, they can click into the link here and create a login, which I've already done just to help speed up this process a little bit. And the payee who will be filling out this information will now go through that same easy three-step process that I pointed out in the iframe flavor of the portal. So in this first step here, we're going to be collecting kind of the who, what, where of this payee. So information like email address, physical address, name, etc. And we're going to be doing a few things with this information in the background. The first thing is OFAC screening. So we're going to be bumping this information up against sanctions lists, blacklists, terrorist watch lists, just to ensure that you're not paying anybody that you shouldn't be paying, right? You don't want to be paying any bad actors. We're also going to use this information, specifically the address, to make the rest of the portal dynamic. So based on where the payee says they're located, so this guy says he's based in the US, that's actually going to drive the payment methods available to the payee on this next tab here. So you'll see that when I click this next button here, you'll see that because I said that I was based in the US, then the ACH shows up as an option to select here. If instead I had put my address as having been in Germany, then ACH would disappear and we might see a SEPA or an e-check option instead. You might have also noticed this nice little drop-down menu of payment methods. Tipalti can pay out across 6 different payment methods, across 120 different currencies and 190 countries. So there's a ton of flexibility there. It's all about getting your payees paid how they want to be paid. Not only do we collect information for these different payment methods, but we're also going to vet this information against over 26,000 global validation rules. So this really enables us to eliminate payment errors within Tipalti. So I'll just give you a quick example here. Maybe I mistype my routing code here. The system catches it and says, hey, this isn't a valid routing code for the US. It won't even let me go back on to the next tab until I fix these errors. So it's really pushing the onus to provide clean information onto this payee here. Now, for the purposes of this demo, I'm just going to move on to the next tab here. Now, this last step of the onboarding process is tax forms. And we've worked with KPMG to create this digitized tax form collection system. You can see that we're collecting both W-8s and W-9s here. And we've built out this really cool little tax form questionnaire just to hold your payee's hand and guide them to the right form for them. It's just a series of questions that will help them find the right form. Now, for the purposes of this demo, again, I'm just going to go through the W-9 process. You can see that the digitized W-9 pops up here. And we can actually do TIN validation with this digitized information. So we'll take the name, we'll take the EIN or the social security number, and we'll bump it up against the IRS database to ensure that they match. And if they don't match, your payee can be notified, you can be notified that they need to provide valid information and documentation. Once the payee does finish this onboarding process, the portal is now going to become a tool for this payee, right? They have 24/7 access to this portal and can come back and do things like update their details, right? There's no need to reach out to you and your team. So instead of reaching out to you and asking, hey, where's my payment at? They can actually just come into the portal, click into this payment history tab here, and see their payment status, see if something's been scheduled, etc. We're also going to be sending proactive email communications along the way as well to tell them if a payment's been sent out to them, just so that they always stay in the know and up to date. So let's switch gears here and let's talk about payments. So I think it's important to note here that Tipalti can also help automate your traditional SG&A invoice processing, right? Automatically capturing invoices, sending them through the appropriate approval workflows, etc. But today we're really just going to be focusing on a mass payment workflow. So processing payment batches in Tipalti is nice and simple, and it starts with getting payment instructions into the system. So oftentimes our customers, they're going to have some sort of backend platform, or maybe it's some sort of process that's going to help them figure out how much to pay each payee. And once we know how much to pay that payee, we need to get that payment instruction into Tipalti. And this can be done in a few different ways. So Tipalti has an open API framework, and you can build out a connection or integration with your backend system or platform and push instructions into Tipalti if you're looking for a more automated workflow. The second way to feed us payment instructions is just to manually upload a CSV into the process, into the system. And that's what I'm going to be using today for the purposes of this demo. So you can see here I have an example of a payment file on my screen, and you can really see how simple this file can be, right? We really just need to know who to pay, and that's this IDAP here. It's an internal ID for the payees, and how much to pay that particular payee. And then we can also add additional fields if you're interested, like scheduled date that I have here as well. All we're going to do here, though, is come into the Payments tab and into Upload Payment File here. And we can select whichever file we want, like the file that I just had open. And once we've uploaded the file, in this Payment History tab, you can see all the different batches I have uploaded into the system, right? So a batch of 17 payments, one-off payments, 16 payments. These batches can scale with your business, and it could be composed, this batch of over hundreds of payments. I can click into each one of these batches here just to get a closer look. And I think that this screen here does a really nice job of showcasing Tipalti's power as a payment processor, right? You can see here that we're paying across all of these different IDs. These are all different payees within the system. We're paying across different currencies here and different payment methods. It's all from one place, right? You don't need to log into different systems or bank logins. You don't need to upload different files, for different currencies or payment methods. Everything is centralized and aggregated into the single payment run here. Now, if you're interested, we can also set up a payment approval for some more control. And this is totally an optional configuration. And it would just require one or multiple of your team members to approve this batch. And this can be your CFO or management's kind of stamp of approval, and no money is going to leave the building without their approval. But once the approver is happy with the batch and the batch has been approved, right, they press the approve button here, the payments are ready to be processed. Now, the final step here is great. We have this batch, it's ready to go, but how do we actually process the payments here? That process is going to happen in a few simple steps as well. So you may have noticed these balances up in the top left-hand corner here. These virtual accounts are what are called FBO accounts, or for benefit of owner accounts, that Tipalti will spin up on your behalf using one of our tier 1 banking partners like Wells Fargo or Chase. And they basically act as sweep accounts that we will need to fill up on an as-needed basis as payments come into the system here. And in this Funds Required tab here, we're going to show you the daily breakdown of payments you have due based on the instructions that you've fed the system. So you can simply fund us the amount required via ACH or wire, provided that the batch has been approved and money has landed in this virtual account here, and the scheduled payment date has arrived, then payments will be processed out to your payees. Lastly, I wanted to touch on the reporting and reconciliation functionality that we provide. So we're now in the Reports tab here. You can see we have a variety of different reports you can run. The account statement is going to show you they keep track of all of the money coming in and out of your Tipalti virtual accounts that I just mentioned. If you're interested in pushing all of the payment statuses that you've made through Tipalti back into your platform or ERP, that information can be loaded from this payment details report here as well. If you're interested in a more automated way, we also do have those APIs and IPNs, which are instant payment notifications that can provide a more automated reconciliation as well. And lastly, we can provide some tax prep reports as well down here at the bottom. On the front end of the onboarding process, we're collecting that tax information via the W-8 and W-9s. And then on the back end, we're tracking the payments going out to each payee. So we can aggregate that information together for you into these nice 1099 and 1042S prep reports. And that just helps streamline your end of year reporting process. All right, that's all I had for you today. Thanks so much for listening and have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.